Everyone likes to PvP in Blox fruits, and some fruits will make you super strong while the others will basically make you a noob. So in today's video, I will be talking about the top 10 best fruits for PvP in Blox fruits. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Starting off at number 10, we have the control fruit. The reason why this fruit is on this list is because this fruit has some very strong combos, but it is a little bit difficult to use. And also, if we talk about the damage, yes, this fruit does a lot of damage, but keep in mind this fruit will require you guys to have a good internet. If you don't have a good internet, I would recommend using something else. Oh yeah, and also it is quite a difficult fruit to obtain, so I would rather use something else. So with that being said, let's move on into the next fruit. At number 9, we have the sand fruit. First of all, this fruit is very easy to obtain because it is one of the cheapest fruits in the game. And this fruit is actually quite easy to understand and use, which makes it very good for beginners. And the best part is it has some very good combos. So if you guys are a beginner and looking for a fruit which is easy to learn, has good combos, and also is cheap, then the sand fruit is one of the best fruits you can use, especially if you are a beginner. And eventually, when you guys are a little bit experienced, then you guys can change your fruit and become a better fighter. So with that being said, let's move on into the next fruit. At number 8, we have the Venom fruit. First of all, this fruit is quite expensive, so it is not generally for beginners. But for the people who can afford it, this fruit has some insanely high damage. I think probably the magma fruit and the venom fruit have the highest damage in the game. Secondly, I would like to mention that this fruit has some slow abilities, which makes it very difficult for you to hit your opponent if you are not experienced with this fruit. And lastly, the venom fruit is not very easy to use. So if you are a beginner or if you are just starting out in PvP, I wouldn't really recommend you guys to use the venom fruit. And also, I would like to say, if you guys have still not unlocked your race V4, I would highly suggest you guys to do it, because if you don't, you will most likely lose a lot of your bounty. And if you are confused on how you can obtain it, let me know in the comments below and I will make a separate video for that reason. Okay, moving on into number 7, we have the portal fruit. This fruit is extremely good for sword users. If you guys are using the cursed dual katana or the dark blade or whatever sword, the portal fruit can help you guys defeat your opponents very easily. You can simply just teleport around and confuse your opponent and then hit them with a good combo, and bang, you just win the fight that easy. But then again, it is not for beginners, since this fruit is quite difficult to understand and also it is pretty difficult to use. So for that reason, if you guys are a little bit experienced and you are using swords, then I would highly suggest you guys to try out the portal fruit. Okay, moving on into number 6, we have the dark fruit. This is my personal favorite fruit for PvP. It has the ability to do some insanely good combos, and it is very strong for sword users. But keep in mind, this fruit seems to be very easy to use, but it requires you guys to have a little bit of experience, since you guys will not be able to do good combos on the experienced players, and hence you will switch your fruit. So for that reason, you guys would need to practice with this fruit if you want to use it for PvP. And lastly, it is quite cheap, so you guys can get it super easily. With that being said, if you guys have still not subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so. We are very close to hitting 30,000 subscribers. At number 5, we have the ice fruit. This is also another fruit which is good for sword mains. First of all, it is very easy to obtain. It is like one of the most cheapest fruits in the game. Secondly, it has insanely good combos. Like, trust me, once your opponent is trapped in this combo, he will not be able to walk again. Yeah, the ice fruit is crazy. But like any other fruit which is good for swords, this fruit is not really made for fruit mains. Don't get me wrong, you guys can easily use this fruit for damage, but I would highly recommend to use it for combos and use your swords for damage. So yeah, with that being said, let's move on into the next fruit. Okay, so at number 4, we have the fruit. This is also another very strong fruit. This fruit is probably the best fruit for combos that you can get in Dfruit. I would not really recommend you guys to use it if you are using your fruits to deal damage, but if you guys are using your swords or your guns to deal damage, yeah, the rumble fruit is insane for that purpose. And the moves of the rumble fruit have some good range, so it becomes annoying for your opponent. So with that being said, if you guys are a sword main, you should definitely try out the rumble fruit. Okay, now we are up to the top 3 strongest fruits for PvP in my opinion. Starting off at number 3, we have the dragon fruit. Everybody knows that this fruit is very annoying to fight against. It has some insanely high damage. But yet again, with a fruit this strong, it must be very rare, and that is the exact case with the dragon fruit. It is worth 3.5 million belly, and it comes in stock every month or so, which is, you know, a little bit rare. But I would also like to mention, if you guys are not max leveled, like for example if you are grinding still, I wouldn't really buy the dragon fruit, since the moves require a lot of mastery to unlock, and also they are not really made for grinding. So for that reason, whenever you guys are maxed out or you are close to the max level, then you guys can buy this fruit and use it for PvP. Okay, so at number 2 we have the leopard fruit. Yes, the leopard is on number 2, guys. This is the most expensive fruit in the game, coming in at 5 million belly. And yeah, it comes in stock like every month or so, which is actually quite rare. But yeah, this fruit is actually quite easy to use. Like if you are even a beginner, you guys can use this fruit, but you will have to be max level. Keep that in mind. You will have to be max level, since this is not really a good fruit for farming levels. Secondly, the leopard fruit has very high damage. But I would like to mention something about this fruit. It is not really good for combos. Like you guys will not be able to do some very strong combos with this fruit, but that doesn't make it a bad fruit for PvP. It can absolutely melt anyone if it is used in the right order. So for that reason, if you guys like to do combos and stuff like that, you should choose something else, or perhaps the number 1 fruit on this list. But if you guys just like to PvP and have fun, then you guys could try to use the leopard fruit. Okay, now we have the moment you all have been waiting for. At number 1, we have the Dfruit. I know a lot of you guys would have guessed this fruit to be at number 1. It is excellent for combos, and also it is very easy to use and understand. So if you guys are getting into PvP and you are a beginner, you can go for the Dfruit and you will probably become a good fighter. But yet again, this fruit is quite difficult to obtain, and especially it has a big hype around itself, so it is also very hard to get in trading. So for that reason, if you guys can afford it, yes, you should definitely use it for PvP. So yeah, that was the list. So let me know in the comments below if I missed a fruit or made a mistake in this video. And lastly, if you guys haven't already, make sure to join my Discord server if you want to awaken your race, trade different fruits, or do some raids. So with that being said, make sure to join my Discord server down in the description, and also hit that subscribe button while you're at it. And with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.